All right, welcome back to Clement Performance Med, the video newsletter, VNL, as we call it on an acronym, like KPM, VNL, video newsletter. So, a couple things, announcements. We have just begun our 23rd summer of training camp. I'm excited that to be doing this, a job that I love. I think the job that you love too.
Yeah, definitely.
And you participated in it, and now you're a part of it, a big part of it. And I'm excited that we can do this as something that we love and something that we can make a living on. It's just kind of like a dream come true.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think?
No, yeah, I'm super excited. This summer's going to be the best one yet. You know, we've revamped. If you guys follow us on social media, you probably know that we're revamping everything, the way our program looks, our full data tracking, analytics through Excel and spreadsheets, and tracking all the volume that we do with kids, tracking kids' times and jumps on every single workout. You name it, we're trying to get better at it. We have merch coming soon. We're just trying to revamp KPM as a whole, just modernize everything. And I think we're on the right track right now. I think the kids love it. You know, I know as coaches we love it because we added Cruz Lewis in here, who is a huge part now, because now it just kind of spreads workout. The work that I used to do is now spread between the both of us, and it gives me a lot more time to then work on other things, and then give you more time to then think about bigger things as well for the for KPM as a whole.
Yeah. And some things in store we can't talk about yet.
Yeah, but there's some cool stuff coming.
There's some cool stuff coming that I can't even say yet. And just stuff that happened today that we can't talk about yet. But, the neat thing is there's some quality of that we put on work that you may or may not see. And that if you don't see it, it doesn't mean we're not going to do it anyway. Yeah. Sometimes if you don't see the video newsletter, we're still posting it. And we're going to put as much quality on it as we can. Because there are some people that do. Found out the other day, someone who wanted to invest into our facility and was somebody who had been watching every single video and paid attention to every little last thing we did. And it means a lot when it comes down to big decisions like that I have to make. But the neater thing is, after 23 years of doing this, I've seen that we've gotten very technologically sound. We've had to back that up with better and easier ways to track data, and that's where we know what's the best things, what's working the best, not just theoretically, but right in person we can see it. So after all the years of doing this, I could tell you our structure now is light years. It may be 20 years, but it's been 20 years, but it's light years away from where it was once, and you'll still see, to this day, you'll still see those hoops and hurdles people doing speed and agility training just that way, without any data tracking. Even though we have all this stuff available to us, they don't use it. It's probably too expensive or whatever it is. We spare no expense when it comes to
training equipment
or data. No expense. We bought anything that's working, we'll buy. After 23 years, I can proudly say this is the best that we've ever been prepared, pre-written the entire summer. So it's programmed out from now until September 1st.
Yeah.
So we did that. Josh really has been taking the lead on most of the programming here. I do it on a rainy day, but Josh, you've been a phenomenal addition to this as far as
I'm glad,
social media and everything. You've really brought us up closer to date. I mean, we have a heartbeat in here. And I'd say mostly it's been you recently. You've been the lifeblood of this place all this year, and especially it really did allow me to do some bigger things. That's going to allow us to grow and move the way we wanted to, and really for you guys get better scores.
That's the main thing.
That's, you don't care about how we grow, you care about how your scores get, and that's kind of where I'm going into how we can grow as a business. You're going in, how can the scores get better? And I know that I watch your own scores, what you've been able to do to increase your own, and how passionate you are about it, that you want to pass that on to the other kids. It's not like you don't practice what you preach. I've seen you do it every day. And then in way more depth. And then adding Tim Watson to this.
Yeah, this is going to be huge.
This could be a huge game changer. He's already working with half a dozen kids that we've set up with him already. If you guys have any interest in working with him personally, we actually have the Williamstown basketball coach, Adam D'Andrea, working with him. And he's, after the few conversations he had, he's blown away, changing and revamping everything that he does.
Yeah, this is with Tim Watson. It's the next kind of generation of what sports is going to be. They've always had team, chaplains and spiritual leaders and all that. And Tim, I would say, is kind of all of that wrapped up into modern psychology, and then taking all the experiences that he's had, that he's seen from coaching and playing at the highest levels, and putting it all together and giving kids a blueprint and a roadmap of how to take on every single obstacle, how to, when things don't go your way, how to act when things do go your way. I think it's very important too, how to learn how to win, learn how to have success. That's another thing that he talked about. His ideas are, as far as sports psychologist, I guess is what I'd label Coach Watson. He's better than most, I would say 99% of the books that I've read. Like, I've read a ton of sports psychology books, and just sitting down with him in the podcast, and he's one of those guys that has evidence, man. Like, he went to Cedar Creek and turned that program around, into a state championship program. Now, he's at Mainland, and he's not the head coach, but I know that the kids talk about everything that he does and how important it is to them, and how it snaps them back into reality, how it snaps them back into the present in order to go to the next play. So the guy, what he's doing is amazing, and there's no one in this area that does it.
And us, even as coaches, setting us up for the success is he can't be in every kid's head every single time. So he's teaching us how to set our intent, how our practice should be set up, how to work that into our lessons, and just giving us another edge. At this point, I don't know that we have any other competition really close by, but we're going to keep doing it anyway, and take this thing to a Disney level. Yeah. I guess it's the only
Disneyland of sports performance. Yeah. That's the goal. That's the goal.
But yeah, so we get a special athlete of the week. He's special to everyone. This whole entire South Jersey. He's special to all of us. So let's go into the Who Dat Athlete of the Week. Who Dat week is none other than Destin Lasco, who right now and currently is competing in the Olympic trials in Indianapolis right now. So he's gone through some strategic things that he's going through right now, where he did not qualify for the Olympic trials. He made the finals in almost every event, so he's in the top 8 in the country in all his events. However, he stepped away from his best event, which is the 200 intermediate or 200 backstroke.
Yeah.
So he stepped out from that, even though he was ranked number 2, behind only the world record holder. So now he goes to the 100 freestyle, places 7th, so he doesn't make the Olympic team in that. They take 6th. He's now going into he has left the 200 intermediate, so it's a medley, so it's 4 different strokes in one race. So he's got to change modalities throughout the race, and it's a tough thing to do. I think he's currently ranked 5th overall, although I in the current standings, but I think his best time ever is still number 2 in the world right now. So he has a great shot at this. So everybody's fingers crossed that we have an Olympian coming from South Jersey. And really, I prayed like crazy the night. Man, my prayer was, I'll give up something, God, for him to make this Olympic team. Like, I'll give something up. I don't know what it is, but I didn't know what I'll give up one of my own goals so he can make this. I think that he has that much of a positive influence. You met him on kids and people. So our Who Dat Athlete of the Week, Destin Lasco. Or this segment is now what's going on inside the 4 walls of this building. So Josh, you wrote the programming. I helped.
We did it all together.
Doing this, but yes, you have programmed and put into an Excel with projections throughout the entire year. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so this summer we sat down together in a nice Starbucks lobby there, and we went over and we programmed the whole entire summer, and we took all the exercises that we think make the most sense for the athletes that we have in right now to do, and we programmed them, and for us that was acceleration heavy, vertical leap heavy, forward locomotion heavy. And one thing that I wanted to get into here is so we break up our workouts into 2 different basics of it. So we have our application and we have our isolation. And I heard this the other day, I thought it was great, is most athletes do sprint conditioning or sprint training with their team, and they just sprint them. And the problem is with that is these kids are sprinting and practicing habits that aren't very good. Most kids really do not know how to run. And we see it in here all the time. We do a gait analysis on every single athlete for a reason, because we have to figure out why they're not running optimally, why they're not running efficiently. So our isolation this whole summer is geared towards better running mechanics, better physical quality, so that those application periods when we're sprinting on the cords or, we're doing whatever it may be on the field that we're applying, that we're trying to get better at, actually applying all of these isolation things, it happens better, it happens faster, and we're a lot more efficient doing it. And we've seen the last couple months that we've, really started to dial in that it's really making a big difference, and kids are having better than average results now every time. We're almost having to move up that average from, the beginning gait analysis projections.
Almost, we have. Like, to be straight honest, the national averages were too low. Yeah. We actually created our own because it was too low based on our facility, and I feel like we were like, our own standard in this facility was way better than the national average. So everybody was getting 99s, and we were like, you can't be 99. Yeah. There's still people out there. Yeah. And now, so that's why we always say, if you go to anywhere else, you're going to test better than we test here. We're a harder standard. You'll have a higher national average somewhere else. Mm-hmm. We make everything really hard to earn. Yeah,
and I want to point something out too, is like, we have been training a ton of kids, from spring into now to go into football camps and to test at football camps. And I just want to shout out Ty McClear the other day. He's going into his junior season at the prep. He went to Monmouth the same day that he worked out in the morning with St. Augusta Prep, did a combine with us, and he went to Monmouth later that day. He had finished 5th in the vertical leap out of 128 kids. He's only going to his junior season. He finished 28th in the 40-yard dash, 24th or 28th, and his broad jump was, again, top 5 or top 6 in the whole entire camp. And that's what we preach. Like, that kid, does he stand out on paper to Monmouth? Of course he does. He was top 10 in almost everything testing, top 5 in 2 or 3 of his other tests that he did. And that's what we tell you guys. Like,
he's a sophomore.
Yeah, a sophomore going into his junior season right now. Like, that's huge. Like, you go to camp and you do stuff like that going into your junior year, of course schools are going to recruit you. Like, you're a great tester. You have all the physical attributes you need, and that's what our program has really been based off of for the past spring leading now into summer, and then summer, of course, into fall sports.
Say it a million times, but pretend if you can compare this to school. When you're trying to get accepted into a college, you're looking at your GPA. They look at your GPA, your class schedule, whatever, GPA. That is your game film, is your GPA. Your SATs, your standardized testing, where they make everything even for everybody. That's where we come in. This is training for the SATs of athletics.
100%. And
that's how it works.
I can't stress it enough. Like, at the end of the day, you're going to have to run, and you're going to have to jump, and you're going to have to compete at a football camp. You're going to have to do it to get a scholarship. 90% of you are going to have to do it to get a scholarship. All of you are probably going to have to do it if you want a committable scholarship. You have to do these things. And for you to show up there and not to run well, there goes your scholarship. It doesn't matter how good your film is. Sometimes these schools will literally just pull the offer right there. Hey, it's not committable right now. Hey, it's not committable right now. We need you to run this, or it's not committable. And I talk to kids right now that are in the recruiting process, and they're trying to figure out where they can even go. Because schools are telling them they have to run this time, they have to run that time, they have to wait for the first 3 games. Make it simple. Run fast when you go to their camp.
Yeah.
If you run fast, it's lights out.
Case in point, I'll ask you the question right now, and tell me which one you think carries more weight. Coach asks, so what's your GPA? Or what's your SATs?
Yeah.
They know that's a standard test. They're familiar. There's a familiarity with it. You can go to 2 different schools and get a 4.0, and one school, it would be the easiest thing in the world. One school might be impossible to get a 4.0.
100%.
So you're like, it doesn't mean anything.
Dude, if you go to a college camp, and this is, I think, very trainable in a kid who goes, I'm going to take my high school career, I'm going to train every off season to go to my senior year, going into my senior year, so my end of my junior year, that summer, go to camps, and I'm going to run a 4.40. That is the most impressive thing you do to a college coach. If you go to a camp and you run a 4.4 40-yard dash, that's the most amazing. You'll be one of the fastest kids they've ever tested.
And it's not a sales tactic. We are busy enough. We have enough business. Now we're talking to the people that we already have. This isn't going out to the world. This is going out to the people that we already have. This is just how important it is. And if you don't know that we're keep stressing this, it's almost because we want more priority put towards here.
Like if you're spending time not doing things that are conducive to your speed or your actual applicable movement on the field or in testing, what is your off-season really doing? Because I can tell you this, if you spend your off-season training to run a 4.440, is that going to carry over into your game? Of course it's going to carry. And what does a 4.440 look like in high school film? Logan Perez. Go watch Logan Perez's film. Tell me what that looks like. That's like a 4.4, 4.5 40. I mean, I think electric. He hits 4.5 right now. You know what I mean? Maybe on a good day it's a 4.48, but that's what it looks like on film. You want to another local kid is Latsir Brooks from Alabama. That's what 4.4 looks like on film. Those kids are both going to school for free. Do you think that a better broad jump and a better vertical leap is going to apply to you on the field and make you better? Of course it is.
That's why
of course,
we do
yeah. That's why we do it.
And
that's why colleges test it. You know what I mean?
They
and now
use it if they didn't matter.
How long have we been doing 5-jump broad jump for? 3, 4, 5 years. You were doing it before I was probably here. What do college camps do now? They do 3-jump broad jump assessments. And guess what?
It's going to change still. It's going to change them what we
do. It's going to literally, it's going to come in. And Matt Bonchek, when he went to the Marist camp, that was like a Marist satellite multi-school, he's one of the, I think he said he was the only, if not one of the only linebackers at a camp probably of 200, 300, 400 kids that jumped over 30 feet in the 3-jump broad jump. You think he stands out? Of course he stands out. That's super impressive. Yeah. So, we can go on and on.
Yeah, we could keep doing this. But, yeah, so inside the 4 walls. Outside the 4 walls is the next segment. Let's go.
Merch.
Yeah. All right. So lots going on outside the 4 walls here. And one of the cool things recently, and we just got him, Isaiah West, Ohio State commit. Got to meet him for the first time. That's inside, but it's kind of a neat outside thing that's going on. He just recommitted to Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen in here. That happened almost, that's outside of here. Yeah. But he was going to Kentucky. He's a running back committed to Kentucky. Now he's committed to Ohio State, which he will go to. Met him, phenomenal athlete in person, phenomenal person.
Very humble kid. And I think that this is again a good point. We just met him, but a kid like that comes in and asks a ton of questions and is very coachable and teachable. That I think it just speaks to why he's going to where he's going. And why he's going to be very successful at Ohio State, which is a hard school to be successful at. But yeah, very, very coachable. From a coach's
standpoint, right? Yeah. You meet Isaiah West, and you speak. He is a sponge. Sometimes as a kid, you speak, they are reflecting.
They don't care.
They're talking to somebody else. Their eyes are out. This kid is soaking everything up. He just came from PT, cryotherapy, stretching,
and practice,
lifting, and then comes over here. He's insatiable. That has a pro mentality. He has pro athlete written all over him.
No, I'm going to say this. Kids are probably going to be like, what? St. Joe's prep kids are legitimately built different as far as their mindset of training, of working, the amount of travel that those kids do between trainers, between a DB's coach, a receiver's coach. The only other kids that I've really seen do it, and it's probably the McClears. That's it. But all the St. Joe's prep kids that we have in here are lift, practice, really good at school, come here, train 1-2 hour sessions,
go
to a different Dudex. Yep.
But that mentality where it's and look what happened from it. Look what happened to the uber successful people.
All those kids, yeah.
And now Dave Dudex with the Chicago Bears right now, and he'll have an insane career because of what he just was willing to do anything it took. I talked to Tommy Bradway, who he basically works under Tommy Bradway, and he's like, "Oh, Dave's got a bright future. Mm-hmm. That kid, he outworked everybody. You knew he would.
Yeah.
He outworked everybody. There was kids that came in, with higher recommendations, or they come from, they have family who's in the NFL. Dave outworked them. They all quit.
Yeah.
Everybody quit. Dave stayed on, and he's the only guy they kept out of all the interns.
Yeah.
You knew that was going to happen. If you know Dave, you know that that's his grind and his work ethic. So anyway, he is a pro, even though he's not a pro athlete. He's a pro football coach now. So, but Isaiah, that's fun. I'm going to just call him out for that. Damari Simeon's just getting offers left and right.
Damari's killing it. Yeah. Duke's a big one. That's one that he wanted. He was like, when I asked him a couple months ago, I want Duke, and now he's got Duke, and he's going to get many, many more scholarships. And again, I can't reiterate it enough. If you're a big man and you're not training your movement, not your strength, you're not training your actual movement on the field, it's almost never going to happen for you. All these offensive linemen that are 4 or 5 stars, all these defensive linemen, they almost all have a track background or a basketball background behind them. Or they'll do some type of throwing in track and on the field. But Damari just moves so well that he deserves everything he's getting. He's going to get a lot more. He'll be a 4-star, a 5-star kid. I think he's really going to come into his own this season. I'm really excited for him.
Other announcements, we got fun merch coming in.
Yeah.
We're going to start interviewing our athletes. Yeah. That's another thing that we're going to start doing.
Hometown Hero Series coming through.
Hometown Hero Series. And I think is going to be a lot of fun, because if they don't give one-word answers, they will Joe.
Joe Lyon, Joe's Cody,
yeah, Joe, Cody, guys.
Yeah.
Like, we have.
I think you interviewed Sophia too.
Yeah.
She did the same thing. Yeah.
If we can get you to talk a little bit, you can get it from firsthand what's going through their head, and you're going to see there's a commonality between every one of those athletes and what's making them so successful.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not going to bring you on unsuccessful athletes. Allison Amadio, she can talk. She could run the show. We actually have offered her a spot to run a show. But this girl has worked with the least amount of talent. Sorry, Allison, I love you, but the least amount of talent is now going to Rutgers and not paying for school. She is a superstar from work ethic alone. And you'll see across the board, Sophia, Allison, Joe Lyons, anybody that has really made it is, or going to make it, has these same commonalities
100%.
Every single time. So I'm excited to start that series. And the merch.
I've been working on this for a while. We finally are getting it done. I just actually sent in the samples today, so we're having samples shipped of a couple different shirts. They're going to be cool. They're just summer 2024 shirts, just showing all the commits from this last year. On the back, it says KPM World Tour. It's really cool. It has all the kids and where they're going and everything like that. I think it'll be a cool shirt. We'll announce when we're here. We'll probably, after I get the samples, we'll probably do some more tweaks, and then we'll take some pre-orders, and then we'll get some orders out, and hopefully, we got 50, 100 kids wearing the shirts.
Well, at least we want the people that are on the shirt to buy them.
Yeah.
We're not going to make any money on it, but we do want those shirts out there and to commemorate like these crazy, awesome years. And it's kind of a history book, like this is. Yeah. This is a history book. Every time we write one of these, every time we talk about it, we can always look back on our YouTube channel and go, what were we doing at that time? Like, where were we? How mature of a business or how mature of a results were we getting? And now we were able to track it.
It's cool, yeah. I mean, we just said it the other day, and I hope you guys appreciate it too. I'm sure you do. Like, you can see the progression in everything that we do from Instagram, and YouTube's going to hit a big progression soon too, where we start to really create some great content. But everything we're doing is evolving, getting better and better and better. So, I'm loving what's going on right now.
It's working. All right. So from Clemic Performance Method Studio at Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, we'll see you next time.